All right, folks, a very good morning to all of you. Welcome to our broadcast. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see all of you on the line. Folks, this 31st day of January is gone. It's gone, we're the end of it. But good to see all of you. Wherever you're joining us from this morning, do share that live for us. Smash that emoji button as well. We're happy that you guys are here with us today. We will have a show without y'all. And we love the fact that you all join us every morning. Each and every one of you. Want to say a special shout out to y'all. Special shout out to each and every one of you that support us in so many immeasurable ways. Good morning, folks. Claire and Andrew, Gwyneth. Good morning to all of you folks. Happy to have you on the live this morning. Happy to have you guys on the live. Lester, Claudette Boville. Claudette, thanks for the things, Claudette. Claudette, thanks for the things. You hear me? I don't joke. Thank you, Claudette. Our thoughts and prayers with our brother, Roysdale Ford. Roysdale lost his brother a few months ago. He lost his mom quite recently, and our hearts, our thoughts, our prayers go out to him. And we know that this time too shall pass, and though it will pain for a long time, long time. You know, we know He who can heal all our pains. And He promises one day no more suffering, no more death and destruction, no more PPP. One day, yeah. Lyndon Gill, good to have you on the live this morning. Good to have all of you all. Yuli Trotman, Deborah DeJohn, good to have you. Erwin Don Cook, Jeremy Williams, good to have all of you on the live this morning. How are you folks doing? We see around these parts. How y'all do? Friends, how y'all do, eh? How y'all do? Great to have all of you with us this morning. I know you all join us from a great many places. You all say I'm squinting here. You all join us from a great many places. But good to have each and every one of you with us, good folks. Great to have each and every one of you with us. Wherever you're joining us from. We've got so much happening, my God. In our schools, in our homes, in our communities. Right. Every village and hamlet. So much happening. But great to have all of you with us. We got a couple of things we're going to share with you, wonderful folks. Right. Couple of things we're going to share with you guys. Happy to have all of you here with us. And just making sure that we line ourselves up good. Then we talk a couple of things. You know, what's happening in our society out there? What's going down? What's happening? What's happening? Good to have all of you on the live. Deborah and Hazel. Great to have all of you folks with us. Good folks, 'tis the season. Right. 'Tis the season. Can't tell you anything else. 'Tis the season. 'Tis the season. Is the season we're in, is the period we're in. It's what's going down, folks. And I want to advise y'all. You know, let me come this way. Give y'all some room. Things are going to get crazy. I can't even say things are going to get more crazy. Things are going to get crazy. And you're going to see all kind of strange machinations, people being sued and taken to court and charged, people being followed, people being surveilled, even more. We know they're listening to our conversations. We know they're on the other end of the phone. If I call you Paula, it's me, you, and them talking. Troy Boville, Orwin. Who, me? Who, me? If I call you, it's all three of us on the line. So sometimes I like to tease them. You know, when I talking to a colleague, I say, the other folks listening, I hope you are taking notes. Marilyn Seaford, John Jones, Maureen, and Donette. I say to them, I hope you all taking notes. You know? It's going to be a crazy time, folks. Election 2025 is upon us. You know? We got to pick up the pace a little bit. A lot of things don't work themselves out. You all know where I am. I'm for coalition. Not collision. That's a PPP. I'm for coalition. I'm for a big tent. You know. I want everybody under the tent. Let us win this next election and let us take this country forward. Please and thank you. So that is the season we're in, folks. Marilyn Lorimer, good to see you. Marilyn, I've missed your voice of reason. I have missed your voice of reason, Marilyn. Well, great to have you in the live tonight. Folks, y'all see what's happening up north? Trump, we're still following 67 death. 67, that flight. Black Hawk hit American Airlines flight. I don't believe there's an accident. That's my own personal humble opinion. I'm no aviation expert, Black Hawk expert, American Airlines expert. But I don't believe that's an accident. Cecile and Irwin, John Jones, I don't believe so. No, don't believe so. My brother Warren Figueroa is on the light this morning. Good to have you, Warren. How was Long Island, Warren? I see the folks in Little Guyana, Richmond, who say vote Trump, vote Trump. Vote Trump. Subways and rush hour empty. Streets that are usually packed with our Guyanese brothers and sisters abroad who send home the remittances for us so we can survive this regime. Streets are cleaned. Streets are clean. My God. My God. My God. My Lord. So much happening, folks. So much. Right. So somebody here says that the folks, Dolly says the folks in Little Guyana hiding. Yeah. It's now you know the real thing, you know. Because I figure if everything is up and up, you gotta, you know. And we heard the fellow said, don't squeal. You know. Don't squeal at nobody. What a declaration by elected leader. Don't squeal. Anthony Samuel says the trains are empty. Wow. You know, I wish I was there. I wish I could take a run up and run down back. You know, I like see for myself. I will walk the streets and say, It's not one job, you them have outreach. It's not one that have outreach and so on. So I guess we won't be seeing any campaigning in Region 11. I guess we're not going to be seeing any. So folks, let's touch on a couple of things. Touch on a couple of things. I mean, we'll circle back to the election. We'll circle back to budget 2025. We'll come back, we'll come back, we'll come back. When you listen to the PPP, you won't believe they're in power, You'd believe they're fighting for power. Right? You believe they're fighting for power. Gloria Van Kuchen Felix, Homi, Sharon Stewart, they're so angry, venomous. You listen to them. I saw Dr. Frank Anthony foaming at the mouth like a mad dog. I said, look at this. And he's one you see and hear from the least. Here today, gone tomorrow. And he's been summoning all that strength in hiding. He's been summoning all that strength, foaming at the mouth. But folks, let's talk to you a little bit about some of what we're seeing. Look at this headline. Look at this headline here. This is very, very shocking. Kanu, let me come back. Kanu warning here of strawberry drugs resembling candy in our schools. You see that? In our schools, the school kids not importing this. Big people making a decision for young people. I saw a video, I cringed when I saw it. A little boy caught in a house stealing somebody's money. He looked like he's not even 10. And an adult made a decision training this child. Training this child. Jump through the window. Go in the drawer. Open the door. Oh, they got a special place in hell for people like that. You must got a special place. When are you going to take the young ones? The young ones. You can do that to them? You can do that to them? You can. See that window there? Huh? People got it bad. But oh God, we got to go to that level. Huh? You got to take a child. I saw it. Whoever's the person's home that he jumped in, tied up his hands, tied up his feet and berating him. Give him a good cuss up. I know I agree with that. I saw a soldier. I saw a video of a soldier beating a child with a belt in public. I don't know if that's his son. I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is. My Lord. We got a lot to deal with. We got a lot to deal with. Strawberry resembling candy in school. Some kids ain't even going to school. Not even going to school. You take a walk in town. See how many kids begging. See how many kids on these streets here. Strawberry candy. Drugs in the school system. Right? So you got to check them now. You see they got some candy in the pocket and so on. We still run the bags. We still run the pockets. I used to meticulously, I going through the books, looking for see the homework, all that, going through it. Our big son now 16. Going through all the books. Running the books, You bring home anything, a ruler, pencil, eraser, carry it back, you gotta carry it back. A pen that I didn't send you with, you gotta carry it back. Whatever. This is happening in our school. Look at the headline we're seeing this morning. I'm just giving you all a little sample of the times we're living in. 16-year-old killed by her paramour, killed by her lover at Barometer. This is hinterland we're talking about now. 16. He's 40. This is interesting to me. She is 16, he is 40. And we are told by our indigenous brothers and sisters that these situations replicate themselves time and time and time and time and time again in the hinterland. And I heard the Minister Sukai Alian, Minister said, when she was asked about such instances recently, they were never reported to her. Everybody else seems to know what's happening in the hinterland. But the minister. The minister don't know about Damlal neither. Who Damlal? You remember the speaker didn't know about what transpired at Maka, Kilview? Damlal? Who Damlal? What the Damlal? Who? 16. Beaten to death. Now he's on the run. Don't run, man. Why are you running? You're a bad man like that. That's Everett, Gloria, Irwin, Glenford. You're a bad man. Where are you going? Where are you going? You bad for beat to death. 16. 16. And the paper said she's a lover. A 40-year-old. Yeah. These are the times, folks. These are the times, Desiree, Morna, Upright Youth. And then you hear Vindhya Prasad talking a whole set of pile and tripe in the National Assembly. Talking a whole pack of nonsense in the National Assembly. People are hurting in this country economically. People are hurting socially in this country. They're hurting. They're hurting. And then we mix that with some perverts. It's a deadly cocktail. It's a deadly cocktail. Deadly cocktail. So lots are happening with our kids, with our adolescents, with our teenagers, whatever category you want to put it in. Lots happening there. Lots happening there. And you know, it was in the National Assembly. In the National Assembly quite recently. During the interrogation of the very budget 2025, the very budget that I heard our colleague Natasha Singh Lewis speak to the same issue of abuse. Speak to the same issue of abuse. Take a look. Take a look. See you guys on the other side.
The ministry has confirmed it themselves. The number of children abused are 4,032. And that they were able to return to their families in 1 year, 88. Mr. Speaker, the number of children assessed and placed in alternative care is 217. Sir, what has happened to the 3,815 children? Incompetent, Minister Vindhya Prasad. Incompetence at its best. But I hope when you come up here to speak after me, you will tell us what is happening with those children. Sir, the minister has failed the children, and I will give her an F grade. Mr. Speaker, let me tell you how the Minister and Child Protection Agency are failing this country. And this one is very personal for me. A Muslim teenage girl, sorry I can't disclose her identity, but a social worker has the facts. A child from Region 3 but goes to school in Georgetown was sexually assaulted by a relative since November of 2024. When the matter came to light, because a social worker in her private capacity intervened, it was reported to the CPA, the Child Protection Agency, in Georgetown. To date, the parents are awaiting a response from the director of the Child Protection Agency on how the matter will be addressed. Mr. Speaker, it hurts me personally because I would know better than most of you in here that most of the Muslims in this country voted for a Muslim president since they believe they would be better off today, but the system has failed our people. The PPP has failed our children. Mr. Speaker, one may ask, but why not approach the minister so that she can intervene? It's a serious matter. Sir, I have written to the minister on several issues as recent as last few months, but to date, sir, I have not received as much as an acknowledgement. Mr. Speaker, it broke my heart when one gentleman said to me, Ms. Lewis, we can only afford one meal per day, and we prefer to give the children dinner so they don't go to bed hungry. That is our state of poverty in this country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this budget reflects a failure of good governance, and it prioritizes political survival over national well-being. It entrenches poverty, stifles growth, and risks destabilizing our society because our poor and working class are treated less than humans. Mr. Speaker, When I look at this budget, I'm thinking, this is not a fiscal policy. It is a clear case of a class welfare, warfare, a systematic betrayal of the poor to enrich the elites. Sir, after listening to Dr. Singh's presentation on January 17th, 2025, and reading the measures this government intends to implement to improve social services of this country, I was prompted to look at the performance of the sector. And I will tell the Guyanese people now how incompetent this government is as it relates to the implementation of the budgetary allocations for the Ministry of Human Services. Sir, last year, I didn't focus heavily on the performance of the sector. I gave a broader view of the budget itself. But this year, I felt like I should look more in depth in the sector. And last year, after my presentation, I was accosted outside on the corridors by Dr. Vindhya Prasad, the Minister of Social Services. And in her exact words, she said to me, "Are you proud of yourself now?" In a very degrading manner. I felt threatened. And I didn't answer confirming what she said. But I want to say to Dr. Vindhya Prasad that in the presence of the same two persons, I'll tell you today, I'm damn proud of myself.
Apologies, folks. Let us know if you're hearing us clearly now. Folks, I was making the point. I was making the point that when you speak and they feel hurt, they come after you. That's the point I was making. When you speak and the feelings get hurt, they come after you. That's the point I was making. That's the point I was making. You speak, they get in the feelings. Well, Ramson claimed emotional distress. They come after you. So perhaps the minister's feelings was hurt. That's what St. Louis was saying. And she was accosted afterwards. She was accosted afterwards. You're proud of yourself. You're proud. And the other point I was making in the silence, the same evening that MP Natasha St. Louis spoke, dear that Indar spoke that same evening, and we peppered him. Because during Natasha St. Louis' presentation, blackout in the National Assembly. Region 3 had blackout, 6 had blackout, Region 4 had blackout, obviously. Lots of other places had blackout. So we peppered him because he come to sell us dreams, to buy this generator, to fix this, right? To chain up the birds as ED wires. All manner of things he's saying, and excuses being made too. 2 power ships later. So that was night before the last. Day that in there. Months ago, I read some news headlines that said I was being sued by the very minister. Yesterday morning, I get a call from Sales Gun Ranch, I think it was, stating that he has a legal document to serve me. He went to some house, he sees somebody peeping through a window. He hear I live in the south. Hey, the man said, we go a long way back. Even before all of this, I met Gunraj one time, if I remember correctly. One time, right and gone. I don't pay them no mind, I don't look for them. If I would come and pick up the documents. So I got to become now the bailiff. You procure me now to serve myself. So I told him, I said, Chief, use the attorney. You got my address. You know as what? The National Assembly. I don't know. What is it? What is it? I got to do you work to prosecute me? I got to help you to prosecute me? I know every day, I don't know. I got to help you to prosecute me? That's how it's work. He went to some house, he sees somebody peeping. I go and come from, to and fro every single day. I don't look for nobody. Right? I don't look for nobody. He here and he here and he here. So the man, like he was pleading, oh, make it easy for me now. Come and pick up the document. What's suing you for $500 million or something like that. Right? It's madness, Naomi. Madness. Look through here now. You see, when they don't like what you say and what you're talking, they come after you. They come after you. I scarcely know an MP in the opposition that hasn't been taken to court. I scarcely know one. I scarcely know one. If I got paid lawyers to carry them to court, where I can end up? The amount of things they say brazenly about me. The amount of things, you know. When we grew up knowing sticks and stones may break my bones. Patterson won a case in court. They're appealing it. This is how they try to capitalize on your time. Yesterday I was in court. Thankfully, I had the opportunity of going into court via Zoom. 2 years ago, the mayor and I, the then mayor, Ubraj Narain, we were charged with a traffic offense. 2 years ago, they said we were blocking the road. The vendors were being removed from New Market Street, East Street. And we went out there to see what's happening. People are our business. We care about people. We went out there. Here we blocking traffic. Public works vehicles on the road fetching away the people's stalls. And we block. We blocking traffic. 2 years. The Martin Code. That's what they do. They try to tie up your time. So the time you should be out there talking to the people, listening to their concerns, making the arguments, you got to be in court. Yesterday morning before I went to the National Assembly, I was in Peters Hall. I ain't never got to tell States Gun Ranch. How come me Peters Hall this morning? Come. I ain't ducking Peters Hall. I ain't ducking. I left home to go to Parliament, got a call, went in Peters Hall. People being flooded out. Year in, year out. There's a since a Chinese company come at the back. The place flooding more regular. Nobody doing nothing. The PPP controls at NDC there in Peters Hall. The PPP controls the, I think it's Ramsburg, Eccles. What's the name of the NDC there? The PPP controls it. And the folks say they're not getting any help. The majority of the people I spoke to yesterday morning are Indo-Guyanese. I didn't say, who you voted in the last election? They got a concern, they got a challenge, and we care about people. We went to listen to their concerns. I wonder why they you know, Irfan was in that area a couple mornings ago, told that same NDC they walk in. One resident told us he drained the back of his house and cleaned a long time. But they would only focus on City Hall. With the lies and propaganda. They control the NDC. Peters Hall, Ramsburg something, and NDC. They control it. But they talk half and left half. They talk half and left half. So they appeal this case that Patterson is part of. I understand why. Because David Patterson is always out there making the arguments. He know them, the wickedness. He know them and the wickedness. Listen to some of what he said in the National Assembly recently. What's happening in this government? Lots of us are being prosecuted for our belief, for our faith. Because we're in politics. We keep it coming. We wear it all like a badge of honor. Patterson in the National Assembly recently.
There's a theory, sir, when you want to fill your pockets, when you want to become a billionaire, the simplest way is to engineer a crisis and then use emergency funding to fix the crisis that you have created. That is exactly what the PPP did with our energy sector. Mr. Speaker, by the end of 2023, after sitting on their hands for 3 years, the system collapsed. And it was time for emergency spending. Poof, sir. Just like that. Out of thin air, no public spend, no public tender, no assessments. It was announced that GPL were buying 27 third-hand container generating sets in Honduras. A friend and family deal. So then they gave the contract to install the containers, a software company who publicly admitted that they knew nothing about electricity. Next, sir, the PPP found the power shipping Cuba to rent. Sir is interested, sir, June 2018, the same middlemen that some, sir, middlemen approached GPL to rent the exact same power ship. We declined this offer, sir. That time it was in Puerto Rico and was going its way to Cuba. Since it was deemed in 2018 not financially viable. Instead, sir, we purchased our own brand new generators. Lo and behold, sir, lo and behold, the PPP returned to office. The same middlemen, sir, that came to us in 2018 reappeared. And poof, just like that, GPL found it economically viable, sir. Rented not one, but two power ships, sir. Sir, last year, GPL was given $18 billion in taxpayers' money. Emergency spending. As I said, there's a theory when you want to become a billionaire, sir. This year, a sum of $18 billion is budgeted. Sir, this has to be compared to GPL under AP and UAFC administration. Not a single penny was given as a subsidy to GPL. Kept the lights on, sir. We kept the lights on.
We kept the lights on. They're not going to want to hear that. They're not going to want to hear that. We kept the lights on. Leslyn, Dolly, Travaza, Marcia, Carolyn, Carlisle, Shamar. They don't want to hear that. See if I get a call. All right. Carry the case up for them. All right. Appeal the case. He's talking up too much. Let's mess up his time. Let's disrupt his schedule. Let's move him off of focus. He's focusing too much on our mismanagement and corruption. Let's put his focus on court matters. As Lucille says, it's an attempt to silence criticism. The thin skin. And when you're thin skin, you become emotionally distressed very fast. When you're thin skin. So that's what this is about. But Patterson continues to say, we all as Guyanese, we got to continue to hold them accountable. Demand better for Guyana. And the onus is upon all of us. And we're in a period, we're coming more and more into the heat, into the fire. All of us will have a role to play. All of us will have a role to play. Whether it's coming out to the meetings, to the campaign rallies, sending a contribution, whether it's helping to spread the information. You can be right on your phone and spread the information, sharing the broadcast, so that other people, the people in your circle, gets to hear valid and credible information. You can see Patterson, leader of the opposition, Norton and Comrade V, Comrade Valda, you can see them on NCN. Yeah. And if you see or hear them on those places, there's nothing complimentary will be said about them. They would never do what we're doing here. We let you listen to some what Jack Joe says and Earphone and all of them. And then we give you our view. And in so doing, their views are put. They would show a video of you, take off the audio, and they're talking over it. For the whole news item. Just a video or a photograph of you. And then they talk over it. They ask you for interview. They interview you for half hour. And then play a minute. They then play a minute. Patterson says, we got to demand better for Guyana. Take a look.
The people of Guyana deserve better. They deserve a government that listens, delivers, and cares. They deserve leadership that invests in their future, protects their resources, and builds a nation that works for all. Only then can we fulfill the promise of a Guyana that is truly secure, prosperous, sustainable for generations to come. Mr. Speaker, in 10 short months, sir, the people of Guyana will have that government, sir.
We could do it, folks. We could do it 10 short months. It's not a lot of time. And by the same token, it's a lot of time. We can do it. But we got to form up a little bit. All right? You got to stop the shoes, the sneakers, pull out the bandana, take out the cap. Tis the season, folks. We got a lot of work to do. We can do it. Look this headline as we wrap up. Look this headline here. Inhumane treatment towards GCOM staff. Inhumane treatment towards the staff at GCOM. There's a letter in today's press. A letter in today's press. Is that in the New Nation? Is it in the Key? Definitely you won't see it in the Mirror. And it's not the Catholic Standard. Step-up news. Inhumane treatment towards the staff at GCOM. Let me read a couple paragraphs for you of this letter. We write to express our serious concern about the concerns, plural, about the matter, about the management practices of the CEO and DCEO of GCOM. The management practices badly affected staff morale and the overall work environment at our electoral office. Since they assumed their positions, right? That's what it says here. Since they assumed their positions, many employees have resigned, and those who remain feel demoralized and afraid to speak up for fear of being victimized. Didn't we establish that? When they don't like what you say, they victimize. While these challenges exist at the head office level, these issues highlighted, they reflect the state of the organization in all regions. GCOM, the Guyana Elections Commission. Okay. There's a growing sense of unfairness in the workplace. Certain staff receive special treatment, while others are disciplined unfairly. This favoritism has created mistrust among staff and is harming teamwork. It feels like those who are favored can do no wrong, while others are targeted for minor mistakes. Friends, family, favorites, flatterers. We told you. Finally, I'll read one more paragraph. It has a few more. I'll read one more. The CEO, Chief Elections Officer, and the DCEO, the Deputy Chief Elections Officer, seem overly focused on issuing memos for small issues rather than addressing the bigger problems we face. No longer are issues discussed. Instead, only memos are issued. Staff who are unable to defend themselves properly in writing are often disadvantaged. This micromanagement has added to unnecessary stress and shifted focus away from our important responsibilities. Yeah. GCOM staff today's newspapers, a letter to the editor, a letter to the editor. Yeah. Jacob. And then somebody can come and say, no, oh, it's just another ordinary day, Jacob. There's nothing. Staff being mistreated, mismanagement, bad management, nothing new, man. Nothing happening there. We did say there was a lull in the cash grant distribution. There was a lull. But we knew because they said cash grants are going to cost 60 billion. They took a 30 in a supplementary budget. And it was understood that the next 30 can pass in this one. With all the checks they didn't have, now they're telling me the 90,000 checks is $30 billion. Huh? The 90,000 checks that they had now, that's $30 billion. Thousands of checks printed, apparently, Jabul said yesterday in his corner shop show. Thousands of checks printed to be distributed. That sounds familiar. To be printed but not available. Printed but no location identified. No distribution location identified. See, when the budget pass, you don't get money. When the budget pass, money will come. Yeah. Many Guyanese waiting on that money. Many Guyanese waiting on that money, folks. Need that money. Difference between living and dying. People got it rough here, you know. People got it rough here. I saw a fella posted. We reposted some of the items, what they call in, what they cost rather, in a place called Keiko. Right? In a place called Keiko, chicken is $900 to $1,000 a pound. Beef, $1,500 a pound. Eggs, $3,600 a tray. Rice, sugar, flour, $4.50 a pound. Small bottle oil, $1,500. Tomato, cabbage, $1,000 a pound. Bananas, $3.50. Farine, a staple in the hinterland, $1,000. Fastest growing economy, high income country. People got it rough. And that's why we listen intently and carefully when our colleague Ronald Cox was making his contribution, talking about the rising costs being ignored, rising cost of living. As we wind our program down to this Friday morning, folks, the 31st day of January, MP Ronald Cox. Take a listen.
Many citizens can no longer afford their basic needs, like I did mention earlier. The important problem of inflation and how it directly affects the working class is not addressed in the proposed budget. Simply promising tax break or subsidies is insufficient. We also need to take concrete action to lower the cost of common products. We provide a straightforward solution, a thorough pricing management plan to stop price grouping, particularly for necessities. In order to keep living expenses under control for all Guyanese, we also need to set up subsidies for important industries like electricity and transportation. Madam Speaker, I wish to highlight a few things that was done in Region 1 under the APNU AFC while in government. Because we cannot allow ourselves to be led astray and allow the Guyanese people to feel or to believe, as was previously mentioned, that nothing was done under the APNU AFC. The APNU AFC had 5 years in government, while we were told earlier into this debate that the PB had 32 years. So you cannot at no time compare your 32 years to the APNO FC 5 years in government. Nevertheless, in Region 1, while we are happy that the LCDS transfer are benefiting indigenous communities, we demand that an Indigenous Economic Development Committee be established under the Ministry of Agrarian Affairs, one that will effectively help our indigenous villages to plan, execute, and of course, benefit from these funds. If that is done, I'm sure that the Honorable Minister of Agrarian Affairs will not have all those petitions on her desk by village councillors calling for 2 shows to be recalled, calling for her to intervene in village councils, especially in Region 1. And I could name 2 such villages. Yarakita is one, and 4 Mile is another in Port Kaituma. Madam Speaker, only in Region 1 witness a brand new hospital built in Port Kaituma with its own mortuary and a well for water supply. We also saw the Forest Solar Farm in Mabaruma. We also saw the Forest Radio Station in Mabaruma. We also saw the Forest Fire Station in Mabaruma. We also saw the 4 stretches of concrete road across Region 1. We saw an increase in the hours of electricity from 5 hours to 17 hours. And of course, they made it 24 now. Of course, we are happy for that because we started the project.
Nice time. Nice time, folks. We didn't waste time. We had oil money. Let's be fair. Can't compare oil economy with non-oil economy. It's night and day. Oil and water. But we did a lot under the circumstances. And if given the opportunity, lots more can be done without all this corruption and nepotism and friends, family, favorites, and flatterers, without all these scandals. Lots more can be done, folks. We kept the lights on, Patterson says. Folks. Good, folks. That's going to do it for us this morning. Bernadette, Patricia, Miller, Desiree Albert, see Linden is here too, and Lester, all the other beautiful folks with us. It's a privilege being here with you guys. We count it a joy and a privilege. We count it a labor of love to keep you guys abreast with what's happening. Nobody pay me no money. You know, just the love of it. Credible, valid information all the time. Help us, good folks, to develop it, right? Help us to be able to do more, shore up ourselves. We got a power supply deficit we got to fix. But in due course, 11.e, build dam across the country. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us this morning. We're going to see you on the other side of it. Yolanda, Erwin, Roxanne, Desiree Albert, Edward Brooms. I see Audrey's with us this morning, Audrey Brown. Good to see you, Audrey. Shamar, Dion, Chanel is here, and Marlene, Sandra Hanover. Eula Lafferman Rubens is here too, Nigel Plas, and Carlisle, Dolly, Onessa. Good to see you on the live, Onessa Wardine. That is, and all the other folks, Debbie, Champagne Collision. Good to have you there. Naomi and Pollyanna Shots. Folks, you all have a great day. Final broadcast for this week. And I might just be on over the weekend, circling back to some of these issues we saw in the budget. Melanie and Diane and Ngwazi Griffith and Gwazi, good to have you on the live today. Have a great Friday, folks. Fired up, ready to go. Melanie Adams, Melanie, Avril, Neon, Michelle Justice. That's a fantastic name. That's a power name. That's going to do it for us, folks. That's a 10. That's our program. Stay safe.